Hello everybody, welcome to the Art Hub. Today is a very fun special episode because it is near and dear to my heart. I love ink. I love pen and ink drawings. I'm a huge fan of this medium, and today we're gonna go through some of my favorite. I think these are the best inks to do comic books, any kind of ink drawing, okay? So let's just go into it right now. Let's do some testing. We're gonna test ink. And I got some favorites. So yeah, let's just take a look, flip the camera down, and let's just talk about all these inks, okay? Let's do this, come on. Okay everybody, hopefully you can see this fine. I'm doing something a little different. I'm using my GoPro instead of my iPhone. I thought maybe we'd give it a shot. Okay, so let's just flip the page over here and let's look at some drawing. Okay, I'm using some, this is mixed media. It's got a bit of a tooth, kind of thicker paper. I like this kind of paper to do ink stuff on, and I feel like that's the way to go with this. So maybe I should actually, let me zoom in just a little bit more. Okay, hopefully you can see this pretty well. Okay, what we're gonna test here is the following. These are my favorites. We're gonna test, actually, okay. We're gonna do Black Star, P.H. Martin's Black Star. This is matte, this is very good. I love this ink. We're gonna also test P.H. Martin's Ocean. This is for fountain pen, but it's pretty good. We're gonna test Carbon ink. I love carbon ink. This is also fountain pen, but you can use it with a brush. And then we're gonna test Rapidograph ink, which is for rapidographs, but you can use this with a brush. Now, to explain what rapidographs are, they were kind of an older technology of a drafting pen, so like a micron tech pen, but before microns there were rapidographs, and Rotring was the company that made a lot of them. They're wonderful to do deadline, just a nice straight deadline. They are really good. Little cartridges, and you can refill them with these guys. They're waterproof. It's really freaking great. So I love them. So let's just go through these, each of them individually, and see what we like. So let's do this. Okay, and then we're gonna have some just acrylic gouache. I thought like maybe we'll use this as like a standard, right? As a way just to like test everything against acrylic gouache, right? Which is something you wouldn't normally do. You wouldn't normally use. Actually, I take that back. You would use acrylic gouache sometimes. Okay, here we go. So let's just kind of play with a couple things. I mean, for me, the most important thing about a black is its ability to be dark, right? You want something dark. And if it's not dark enough, then it's not worth doing. That's my kind of philosophy. And I have a dish here. Here we go. I was looking for my dish. Okay, so let me just put a little bit here. We're just gonna use this guy. And we're just gonna like, now. Okay, this is what we're testing it all against. This bad boy. And then, you know, this is gouache, dude. This is thick, it's opaque, it's freaking dark, right? Can't go wrong with this. Boom. Put that in your sandwich. Okay, done. That's our standard, okay. Now, it dries pretty good. Yeah, I like it in every way. It's just freaking good. Now, let's look at this guy. This is the Black Star. I think Black Star is really good. Actually, should we get my little, should we get a little pencil so we can see here, use this guy. Okay. This is gouache. Okay. That's gouache right there. Now, let's look at Black Star. Okay, this is India ink. It's waterproof. When you're doing comics and things like that, you want waterproof. So these are waterproof inks. And so it looks just like, it's nice. It's nice. Okay. Boom. Okay. You can get this anywhere, art supply stores. It's like $9 a bottle, so not cheap, but it lasts a pretty good amount of time. So that was Black Star. And actually, I just heard about it from a guy at a store. He's like, you should try Black Star. Okay. This is inferior. I'll tell you right now, this is going to be the weakest, I think. It's just my, thought. But because it's made for fountain pens, it's going to be thinner. So, fountain pens usually are it's just better. In some ways, if you're using a fountain pen, you need to use that. You can't use thick stuff. Okay, this is what's called Ocean. We'll call this Ocean. I don't know why. I feel like that's not the right name for this, but whatever. I don't think dark black when I think Ocean. Carbon ink. Carbon ink is, I think it's Japanese. Yeah, it's Japanese. I bought this on Amazon. It's a little pricey. I use this for my fountain pens I have, but you can use it for a crow quill or anything like that, of course. Okay, so we're gonna do, here's carbon. Okay, carbon. I like this bottle, it just is cool. And I got a lot of it, so good ink. And then my favorite, this I got turned on by Jean-Paul Leon, rest in peace. He is a comic book artist, illustrator, and he used this. And he was like, yeah, I just pull it out. Now, I used to, those of you who know any comics at all, I used to be an assistant for Howard Chaykin, who's a comic book artist too, and he used, I think, Black Magic, and he would, or Pelican. I think he used Pelican ink, and then he would open the cap and let it evaporate a bit to get thicker. The thicker it is, the darker it is. Now, let's do this. This is the Rapidograph ink. Okay, so there we go. Let's move this out of the way. Actually, let's keep this here. Let's write this down. This was the carbon. Carbon, and this is the Rapidograph. I'll just call it Rapid. Okay. You can buy this on Amazon too. You can buy this in stores. This is a little harder to get nowadays. A little harder to get. And I think this little guy's probably about around $8 or so. Now, I like to use sable brushes when I'm doing ink work. So this is a Da Vinci sable brush. This is Kolinsky's the name of the animal. Kolinsky's sable brushes. This is made from Germany. This is comparable to the Winsor Newton Sable 7s, Series 7s. It's comparable, a little cheaper, but let me just, just play with it for a sec and just kind of I do love brushes. I don't do as much brushwork now that I'm painting so much. At least not this kind of fine brushwork, And I feel like I have an aptitude for it. I just don't. I need to probably start incorporating these things into my work. Okay. Now, let's just give it a moment to see what we like the most and what we feel is the best. Because we're looking for darkness, light fast, all that kind of stuff. And let's also make sure that they're waterproof. That's a big element to this whole caboodle. So I'm gonna turn off the camera for a minute. Let this dry. Okay, we're back, and we're kind of playing around here. I'm just letting this little bit dry just for a sec, and I'm using the gouache. I was using the Rapidograph ink, but now I just started playing with this wash here. I'm just kind of playing with the lines because it's thicker, because it's proper paint and not ink. The lines are a little trickier to get what I want, but there is no doubt that this gouache is like freaking black. This is like serious blackness. If you look here, and what's nice about gouache is the matte. It's almost like, I always think of it as kind of a fuzziness, like a velvet or something. The way it's so matte, and so yeah, just that kind of like matte feeling to it. And the camera, I apologize if you can't really see it well, but the camera, can I get it? Let's just bring this in really close. If we can bring this in really close. I don't know if you're able to pick this up well or not, but it is real. This is really darker than these others. It is just freaking midnight black, and it's really cool. It's really nice. I do like it. Might be messing up my brush by using this for this brush. And looking at these other guys, let me see if I can move this light. Oh, forget it. The light's fine. Looking at these other guys, it's really hard to tell, to be honest. It's not a huge winner. They're all very good. I do still think this is a little bit weaker than this, the Ocean, a little weaker than Black Star, but not by much. It really isn't that much. The Carbon, the Black Star, the Rapidograph, they all look really comparable. Now, touching it, this does not have a finish to it. This does. The Rapidograph has a finish to it, and you know, there's a finish to it that's kind of nice. The Carbon has that. The Black Star doesn't have it as much. So if you want this kind of finish, this has it a little bit more of a sheen to it than this. This is like freaking velvet. There's one more test we didn't do that we need to do right now. So the other test is, why don't we also... Okay, the other test we're going to do is we're going to now put some water on these, because that was one of the things too, right? You want ink that is waterproof, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to use watercolor. We don't want watercolor. We want waterproof. We want to be able to paint over this, okay? So let's test it. Gouache, okay? Black Star, okay? Ocean. Oh, wait a minute. Ocean's coming off. Carbon. Rapidograph. I know Rapidograph won't come off. Yeah. So they all look pretty good. Maybe Ocean's coming on a little bit more, but I would say they're all pretty good on the watercolor element, or the waterproof. So honestly, guys, there's a lot of winners. I love Rapidograph. Black Star is a little easier to get and just in a better bottle. So Black Star would be just a little bit more preferable. But if I really want to go black, and I do like this little sheen to it, I'll probably use Rapidograph. And I like Carbon too, mostly for because it's ready to go for fountain pens. Black Star is not made for fountain pens. And I just would be worried about that. I'd be worried about... yeah, this says it's made for tech pens. So in theory, they're saying Black Star and the Rapidograph ink are the same, right? So these are both the same in theory, whereas the Carbon is really a fountain pen guy. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope this was somewhat educational or interesting. And have a great one. Take care. Bye.